Hi everyone, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
So today we'll be talking about historical perspective of the Constitution. But before that, I want you to tell me what is constitutionalism. And Monica Dikshit, yesterday we discussed about constitutionalism. So just please tell me what is it.
So, constitutionalism is the phenomenon which recognizes the need of government but limits its power, and it decentralizes the centralized government and put certain restrictions and limitations. And some principles which promote constitutionalism, like written constitution, federalism, independent judicial
Fundamental
review.
rights.
Yes, fundamental rights, free and fair elections, accountable and transparent government. Yes, all these.
Yeah, thank you, Monica. Okay, so now we'll talk about historical perspective of Indian Constitution. So basically, the Constitution of India is the precursor of the new Indian Renaissance, and our Constitution became effective on 26 January 1950. All right. Why do we celebrate 26th November as Constitution Day? Why not 26 January? Is
Because,
it
sir,
Sir, it's because on 26th of January 1950 it came into existence. Like we started following it, and on 26th November it was like completed. So
Sir,
26th November,
26th November we adopted it. From Jan 26th it came into force.
yeah, on 26th November what happened?
We adopted the constitution.
Yes,
not
we
fully.
adopt. Yeah, some except few articles. Most of the article we have adopted on 26th of November. Okay, but it became effective on 26th of January 1950. All right. So actually, before the advent of the Indian Constitution, tell me the name of that act which used to govern India. When I'm saying India, so it is with this,
Government of India Act.
you're saying Government of India Act. Which one? 1947.
1935.
Yeah.
1935.
Yes. So 1935, Government of India Act 1935 used to govern before the advent of our constitution. And we have taken a lot of things in our constitution from Government of India Act. So I would like to talk about Government of India Act, but not wholly, just two important part, or I can say two important feature of Government of India Act 1935. So the first one is that this act, when I'm saying this act, it means Government of India Act 1935. Understood?
Yes, sir.
This, yeah, so this act conferred only a very limited right of self-government on Indians. This we all know. And the executive authority in the province was vested in the governor appointed by the crown. This statement is correct or incorrect? Anyone? The executive authority in province was vested in the governor appointed by the crown. This statement is correct or incorrect? Yeah, this is correct. And who is to appoint Governor General of India?
Viceroy.
Viceroy.
No.
Crown, sir.
Yeah,
A
it's
British
crown.
Sir, Crown Prince, sir.
Crown.
Yes.
Sir, the Governor General had transferred into the Viceroy, is renamed as.
Yes. So basically, we can call Governor General of India or Viceroy, whatever we want to call. We call C. Rajagopalachari Governor General, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'll use term Governor General of India. Okay.
Sir,
So
Sir, Governor General of India came in 1833 Act, sir, and Viceroy is
yes,
in 1858, sir.
1858. I know that thing, but they have used this term Governor General also for Viceroy in this later on.
Okay,
We have okay. So
okay, sir.
yeah, I can call him Viceroy also. That's not a big deal. All right. So basically, now I was talking about governor of province. So he was appointed by the crown, and he was to act ordinarily on the advice of the ministers who were to responsible to the provincial legislature which was elected on a limited franchise. आपको जो 1935 का एक्ट है और जो अभी रिसेंट में कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है उसमें और इसमें समझ में आ रहा है ना, कनेक्ट कर पा रहे हो ना? I said कि जो गवर्नर ऑफ प्रोविंस था, he was to act ordinarily on the advice of the council of minister and
Yes,
that
sir.
which was responsible to the provincial legislature which was elected on the limited franchise. ये आपको समझ में आ गया ना कि अभी हमारे यहाँ जो स्टेट लेजिस्लेचर होता है कि वो स्टेट लेजिस्लेचर जो होती है वो होती है एडल्ट फ्रेंचाइज के ऊपर, ठीक है, और इलेक्टेड होती है, और गवर्नर जो है फिर काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर होती है, ठीक है, काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर यहाँ से आएगी, काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर तो इसके लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल रहेगी स्टेट लेजिस्लेचर के लिए, लेकिन वो गवर्नर को एड एंड एडवाइस करती है, तो सेम 1935 में भी था। समझ में आ गया आपको?
Yes,
But yeah, but actually the governor could exercise certain function in his own discretion also. So, or we can say in his individual judgment, in which he was not bound by the ministerial advice and he was subject to the control of the governor general or viceroy. All right. तो आपको ये चीज समझ में आया कि जो उसका डिस्क्रिशनरी पावर था उसके ऊपर किसका कंट्रोल था? यहाँ पर in his discretionary power, this council of minister had no role, but governor general or viceroy had the role. He was the ultimate controller of governor of provinces. Clear है इतना?
सर बट ये तो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया एक्ट 1919 में भी तो था ना सर?
हाँ था, लेकिन इसमें भी था। हम लोग 1935 की बात इसलिए कर रहे हैं क्योंकि वो लास्ट था, समझ रहे हो आप? दैट वाज द लास्ट
जी
इन
सर।
वन वे और द अदर वे, जिसने हमें गवर्न किया है इंडिपेंडेंस तक 35 के बाद। एंड अच्छा ये बताइए कि जो 35 था वो कब इफेक्ट में आया था? गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, व्हेन द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया एक्ट 1935 केम इनटू इफेक्ट?
37.
37.
तो 37।
Yeah, in 37. So yeah, I was talking about that control of the governor general and the executive authority at the center was the vested in governor general or viceroy, and he was appointed by the crown. So he was also having this council of minister to advise him, but he had a lot of discretionary power also. In that case, he was not bound by ministerial advice, but okay, tell me who could control the governor general or viceroy?
That is Crown Prince.
Anyone else?
British Parliament.
Closer to वो थोड़ा सा ब्रिटेन में हो गया, और कोई क्लोज?
Executive Council.
No.
Secretary.
Yes, it's secretary. Okay, so whatever actually his discretion was under the control of Secretary of State for India. And if I say that he was the member of the British cabinet, then this statement is correct or incorrect?
Correct, sir. Correct, sir.
Correct, sir.
Correct, sir.
Correct, sir.
And defense and external matters fall in such categories. All right. So this was the first feature. आपको समझ में आ गया होगा, ठीक है, ये थोड़ा सा इंपॉर्टेंट है और आप इससे कनेक्ट कर पा रहे होगी कि हमारे यहाँ अभी सिस्टम कैसे चलता है. Mostly the system we are having right now, it you are able to, are you able to correlate it with 1935 Act?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So now we'll talk about second aspect, and the second aspect was that this act, 1935 Act, it sought to change the character of Indian government from unitary to federal. So earlier, that time we had unitary form of government, but it tried to change it to the federal. And what happened that the Indian federalism was to consist of the provinces in which British India was divided and the state under the native princes. आपको पता है ना, British state और princely states, and there were two types of states, British state and princely states. You know this thing, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell me what is subsidiary alliance?
Sir,
हाँ निमेश.
during British period, they were asking the princely states to keep their army in that state, and that princely state has to pay for the
Security.
army itself, yeah, the feeding and all the things, so that they can manage their defense.
अच्छा आप ये बताइए कि who brought this system of subsidiary alliance? Okay. So अच्छा आप ये बताइए कि this federal system was it came into existence or not?
No, sir.
Did not come. into
Okay. Yeah, it could not come into, it could not become fully operative as the princes did not join the federation. The federal concept was implemented partially. So fully it was not operated, but partially it was. Remember this thing. All right. Insofar as the relationship between the center and the provinces was ordered on this basis. Now what happened that further the ministerial form of government as envisaged by the Act of 1905 could not also be introduced at the center, which continued to function under the Government of India Act 1919. So they thought of that there should be a ministerial form of government. The way they thought it could not came into existence, so it was based on the Government of India Act 1919. And as per this, the central government consisted of Governor General and a nominated executive council. जो एग्जीक्यूटिव काउंसिल थी वो नॉमिनेटेड थी, याद रखना आप लोग, ठीक है. एंड हु इज टू नॉमिनेट दिस एग्जीक्यूटिव काउंसिल?
Governor General.
So what happened that in this structure, the Governor General occupied the key position as he could overrule his council on any point if in his opinion the safety, tranquility or interest of British India were materially affected. तो अगर उसको if he used to think that कि okay the safety, tranquility or interest of British India could be compromised, then he could overrule the council also. All right. So basically he was not bound by the council, or we can say that the council had no absolute control on Governor General. So if I say that effective power and control over the administration was with the Secretary of State, the Governor General and the governors before the independence, then this statement is correct or incorrect?
Correct, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we know that Indian participation in the government process was very minimal, and that was the reason that people were not happy, Indians were not happy, so they were demanding that we should get the independence. Okay, and this demand resulted into the setting up of a constituent assembly for drafting a constitution for a free India. तो आप मुझे वो बताएंगे कि कौन सा मिशन था या कौन सा ऐसा इवेंट था जिसने कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली बोला कि इंडिया में कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली होगी?
Simon Commission.
Cabinet.
Cabinet.
Sir, Mountbatten Commission.
बताओ आप लोग।
Cabinet Commission.
कैबिनेट कैबिनेट मिशन कब आया था?
1946.
हाँ, सो एक कैबिनेट मिशन ही था जो ये मतलब ऑलमोस्ट वहीं से चीजें फाइनल हुई थी, ठीक है। सो द एंड व्हेन द असेंबली केम इनटू एग्जिस्टेंस?
9th December 1946.
Yes. So basically, the assembly formally commenced its task of constitution making from 9th December 1946, and it was the time when it held its first meeting, but could not make much headway because of the political impasse arising from a lack of understanding between the two major political parties. And who were those two major political parties?
The Congress and the Muslim League.
Congress and Muslim League.
Yeah, Congress and Muslim League. Muslim League. So what happened? This political deadlock was resolved in 1947 when the British Parliament enacted the Indian Independence Act, and this act had partitioned the country into two independent units, India and the Pakistan. And the Constituent Assembly then embarked on its work in right earnest, and after 3 years hard work, or we can say hard labor, they have finalized and adopted the Constitution of India on November 26, 1949. All right. So this is how our Constitution came into existence. इतना सबको क्लियर है ना?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
this is the history of Constitution making. Now I want to talk about salient features of the Indian Constitution. तो आप मुझे बताइए, थोड़ा एक एक से बोलते जाइए. हाँ, and we are not discussing, we will just discuss what are the heads. We will not go into deep. Tomorrow we'll discuss all these things, right? Because अगर आज डिस्कस करेंगे तो फिर आज यही हो पाएगा, इससे ज्यादा नहीं हो पाएगा. तो काफी, हाँ, आप लोग बताइए मुझे कि क्या क्या. प्लीज टेल मी व्हाट आर द salient features of the Indian Constitution.
Sir, longest written constitution.
Lengthiest written constitution.
Parliamentary form of government. Integrated.
Independent
Judiciary.
Quasi-federal.
An independent judiciary and judicial review.
Sir, fundamental rights.
Secular state. Single citizenship.
Separation of powers.
Universe.
Yes, एक से.
Separation of power.
The universal franchise.
Yes.
The free elections.
Free and fair election.
Free and fair elections and union of states.
Sir, judicial supremacy.
What about welfare state?
DPS system.
Welfare state, responsible government,
Power.
minorities and backward classes. Okay.
Emergency provisions.
Elections, judiciary,
So three
All these things are
So
fundamental law.
rigid as well as flexible.
Yes. So these are some
For
salient
emergency
feature of.
provisions, T-tier government,
Yes. See, we are talking about features. So these are few features of our constitution. Preamble is also one feature of the constitution because it gives the idea of what is there in the constitution. All right. So all these things I'll discuss tomorrow, and maybe one by one I'll take up every, because if I have to discuss secular state or maybe fundamental law or elections, then it will take little bit time. So if you allow me, then I can discuss two things. One is elections, and second thing what I can discuss responsible government also. So let's discuss two things: responsible government and second one these elections. Okay. Now we'll discuss two things, and tomorrow we'll discuss other things also.
Sir, a question है sir.
हाँ बोलो.
Sir, three-tier form of government is a basic feature मतलब हमारे constitution का.
हाँ है.
Okay, sir.
If I say that our constitution is modern constitution, then this statement is correct or incorrect? Anyone?
So it can be amended. So and it has been amended. So yes, it is modern constitution.
no sir, I don't think so.
If you don't think so, then why?
Yes, sir.
Tell me. I mean, give me reason.
So it is, we can call it modern because it has all the like modern principle like liberty, equality, rule of law, and all.
Okay, so basically that to give the reality and content to the democratic ideas, which was propounded in our preamble. The constitution establishes parliamentary form of government. We know this thing. Okay, both at the center and at the state, in which the executive is responsible to an elected legislature. All right, this thing you know, right? Now this is, yeah, this system differs fundamentally from the presidential system, and which is prevailing in United States of America. Whereas what happens in America, that the American system is based on the doctrine of separation of power between the executive and the legislative organs. The Indian system is based on the principle of coordination and cooperation of the two organs. ये चीज आप बहुत अच्छे से सुनना carefully. समझ में आ रहा है? Are you getting this thing? That American system is based on the doctrine of separation of power between the executive and the legislative organs, while Indian system is based on the principle of coordination and cooperation of two organs. Clear है ना ये आपके हाथ दिमाग में?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है, कुछ एक चीजें मैं बताऊंगा जो आप ऑलरेडी जानते हो कि द पॉपुलर हाउस, विच वन इज द पॉपुलर हाउस एट द सेंटर?
Lok Sabha.
Yes. So the popular house at the center and the state are elected on the basis of adult suffrage. The president is the head of Indian Union and he is elected by the elected members of parliament and the state legislative assemblies. So the system of election ensure that the president is the choice of the people throughout the country and that he represents both the center and the state. This is clear. This is quite simple, so there is nothing much important. I mean, nothing complicated here. Is quite simple, so you can understand easily. Now, the executive power, though formally vested in the president, is in effect exercised by the Council of Minister. And who heads the Council of Minister?
Prime Minister.
Prime Minister.
Okay, and the Council of Minister is responsible to the?
Lok Sabha.
Lok Sabha.
Parliament.
Yes. No,
Lok
it's not
Sabha.
Parliament. It's Lok Sabha. The president is more of a symbol, a high dignitary having ceremonial function, and the same pattern has been duplicated in the state with some modification. This governor things, right? So the head of the of a state is the governor, who is a nominee of the governor is the nominee of
Central government.
Government.
yes
Center.
center, and though largely a symbol like the president, it has some function to discharge as a representative of the central government. Effective power in a state like the center lies in the Council of Ministers headed by the Chief Minister and responsible to the elected house of state legislature. This is a simple thing. Okay. इतना समझ में आ गया ना आपको?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell me that detail of the relationship existing between the president or the governor and the respective council of minister. Is it fully set out in the constitution or not?
Yes, sir.
Fully not sure.
Sir, basically, President has to abide by the Council of Minister that was given by 42nd as well as 44th Constitutional Amendment Act.
But there are certain convention also, anyways.
So distinction power.
Like the discretion of President is convention, I suppose, but majority of the decisions are of Council of Ministers only.
हाँ मेजॉरिटी है बट फुली नहीं है तो दैट्स व्हाई आई सेड फुली तो फुली नहीं है कुछ एक चीजें हैं जो कन्वेंशनल है देयर आर सर्टेन थिंग्स व्हिच आर कन्वेंशनल इन द नेचर ऑलराइट सो नॉट फुल बट मेजरली कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में मेजरली तो डिफाइंड है बट कुछ कुछ चीजें नहीं है जो हम कन्वेंशन के थ्रू चलते हैं और ये कन्वेंशन हमारी या तो पुरानी चली आ रही होती है ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट से जो हमने ली है मोस्टली वही कन्वेंशन फॉलो कर रहे होते हैं हम लोग नाउ वील टॉक अबाउट इलेक्शन. So India has adopted adult suffrage as a basis of election to the Lok Sabha and the state legislative assembly. So every citizen, male or female, who attain the age of 18 years or over has the right to vote without any discrimination. ठीक है? So अब आप लोगों को तो पता ही है कि जब हमारा when we have adopted our constitution, that time there were millions of people who were illiterate and people said that Indian democracy is not going to succeed, right? A lot of people said in the world that these are the illiterate people, they don't know who to vote, how to vote and all these things. So how this democracy is thrive, it's going to be settled in some time, but it couldn't. The democracy of India flourished. All right, and we have taken this, our constituent assembly has taken this bold decision to, include adult franchise. And basically, so इसमें और क्या ही है इसमें बस we have this thing that several general elections have been held so far on the basis of adult franchise and mostly जो है क्या कहते हैं कि be ensure there are things to ensure free, impartial and fair election and to protect the election from being manipulated by the politicians. The constitution set up an autonomous election commission to supervise and conduct election to parliament and state legislature. Okay, under which article election commission of India comes?
Sir, article 324.
24.
Okay. So basically this is a little bit detail about the elections. बाकी आपको सबको पता है इलेक्शन कैसे होते हैं और सब चीजें होती हैं तो वो होगा तो हम लोग थोड़ा सा डिटेल में बाद में डिस्कस कर लेंगे इलेक्शन के बारे में बट फीचर्स पढ़ रहे थे तो ज्यादा डिस्कस नहीं कर रहा है. सो 2 features we have discussed today and other features we'll discuss tomorrow. Now we'll talk about national parks and what else? SLR, CRR, MSF.
Sir, I have one question.
हाँ निमेश।
Sir, like in 2019, there was a question in history regarding the run up to events of revolt of 1857. उसमें वो पूछा था कि it is a culmination of the earlier events that took place in that took place before 1857. So similarly, if it is asked that trace the creation of Indian Constitution, so should we write important features of all the articles, all the acts like Charter Acts and Government
No,
of
no,
India
no.
Acts?
मोस्टली 1935 एंड 1919, क्योंकि ये दो एक्ट थे। आपको शायद याद होगा, एक गवर्नमेंट ऑफ देयर वाज ए गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया एक्ट 1915। डू यू रिमेम्बर दिस थिंग?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
तो इस एक्ट ने क्या किया था, इसमें कुछ नया नहीं था, बट क्या किया था इसने, बताओ मुझे।
Sir,
टेल मी।
there was a question in test. I'm forgetting.
I think it just compiled all the previous.
Yeah, exactly. So it has compiled all the previous act and everything, whatever had been done till 1915. Thereafter, there were some significant changes in 1919 and some changes in 1935. So we have to write about 1935, क्योंकि जहां तक जो था ना, मोस्टली सब चीजें ये लोग ले चुके थे इन दो एक्ट्स में, 1919 और 1935 में। तो सब कुछ था इन दोनों एक्ट्स में।
Sir,
So
what
mostly
about creation of separate electorate in 1909?
इतना इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है सब। आप 1939 बोल रहे हो?
1909 to Morley Minto reform.
909। तो वो उतना इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है। आप मतलब अगर इतना ही आप लिखोगे ना, इसके इस एक्ट में, आप अगर इसको ढंग से पढ़ोगे तो इसमें आपको सब कुछ मिल जाएगा इन दोनों में। यू विल गेट ईच एंड एवरीथिंग। तो ज्यादा लिखने की जरूरत नहीं। एक आध पॉइंट अगर आपको, इफ यू वांट टू राइट 1 पॉइंट और मे बी 2 पॉइंट, देन यू कैन टॉक अबाउट 1819 2 एक्ट ऑल्सो, क्योंकि इलेक्शन का कॉन्सेप्ट तो यहीं से आया था ना। दो इट डिड नॉट केम फुली, इट वाज नॉट फुली ऑपरेटिव, but it came in I think in 1892, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
तो एक चीज है, but you can write 1 or 2 point from here and there, but mostly I would say that focus on 1935 and 1919.
Okay, sir.
क्योंकि आपके पास इतने वो नहीं रहेगा ना नहीं में ज्यादा चीजें लिखने के लिए। थोड़ा सा 150 वर्ड्स मिलेंगे और उसमें आपका सब खत्म हो जाएगा। तो ऐसे पॉइंट्स लिखो जो हमारे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को एकदम वो करते हो। अगर आपको लिखना ही है तो आप लिमिटेड फ्रेंचाइज लिख सकते हो। जो लिमिटेड फ्रेंचाइज पे 1935 में था ना, वो चीज आप एक लिख सकते हो जो अभी हम लोगों ने डिस्कस की थी उसके बारे में।
Limited franchisee was granted in 1919 also. On the basis
1990
of property. 1919.
हाँ 1919 जो गवर्नमेंट थी ना, जिसको कंटिन्यू किया था, जो ये लोग चेंज करना चाह रहे थे बट नहीं आया। तो यू कैन डिस्कस अबाउट लिमिटेड फ्रेंचाइज, दैट वुड बी मच बेटर रादर देन डिस्कसिंग 1909 एक्ट।
Okay, sir.
ठीक है, अभी मैं फाइल ऐड कर लेता हूँ। इतनी सब चीजें क्लियर है ना आपको?
Yes, sir.
Should I give you one question tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'll mix these two concepts, constitutionalism and constitutional history, and I'll frame a question on that.
सर
अच्छा, तब तक
एक रिक्वेस्ट है सर, एक ज्योग्राफी से बेस्ड क्वेश्चन भी दे दीजिएगा सर।
ज्योग्राफी से क्या
सर? एक ज्योग्राफी बेस्ड क्वेश्चन भी दे दीजिएगा सर, just for the practice.
Okay. So how many national park are there in Gujarat? Diptanshu Sahu, just name 2 national park.
Chargir National Park, Black Buck National Park.
Okay, first one is Gir and second is Black Buck.
Black Buck.
अच्छा, और Gargi, please tell me about other 2.
So the next one is Vansta National Park and the other one
Hmm.
is Marine National Park.
ओके, सो ब्लैकबक नेशनल पार्क है, ये जो है गल्फ ऑफ खंबात के आसपास है, एंड इट इज लोकेटेड, yes, it is located on the in
Bhavna.
Saurashtra region of Gujarat, and this grassland which we call BD in Gujarat. So basically, we can find this grassland, and Maharaja used to this place for hunting blackbuck with his famous hunting cheetahs. And this is a national park which has been classified as 4B, and it is located in semi-arid biogeographical zone, and there are a lot of conservation programs are going on, and such conservation programs are blackbuck, the wolf, the lesser florican. Okay, what is the status of blackbuck?
Least concern.
What about wolf?
Least concern.
Least concern.
What about lesser florican?
Endangered.
पक्का?
पक्का सर.
Endangered. Okay, in this national park we can find lions roaming free in the wild.
गिर.
Yes,
Okay,
the question
national
आया
park.
था, UPSC has asked this question maybe
Yes, sir.
in 2019, कब पूछा था बट आया था, है ना?
Yes, sir.
तो गिर नेशनल पार्क के बारे में we can see it is also known as Sasan Gir, and this park is in Gujarat, and it is the only place in the world where we can spot lions roaming free in the wild, and it is the part of कठियार गिर ड्राई डेसिडुअस फॉरेस्ट इको रीजन। अच्छा, ये जो ब्लैक बक है इसके पास में कौन सी वाटर बॉडी है? Which water body is located near to Black Buck National Park?
Gulf of Kutch.
Gulf of Kutch?
Kambat sir, sorry.
Yes, Gulf of Khambat। एक Gulf of Kutch भी है, वो वहां पर क्या है?
That is the Marine National Park, sir.
Marine National Park।
मरीन नेशनल पार्क। ओके, सो एक क्वेश्चन है आपसे, मुझे पूछना था कि जो मरीन नेशनल पार्क है, इफ आई से इट इज द फर्स्ट मरीन पार्क इन इंडिया, दिस स्टेटमेंट इज करेक्ट और इनकरेक्ट?
करेक्ट सर।
ठीक है। So 14 Asiatic lion census 2015 was conducted in May 2015, and in 2015 the population was 523. It was up 27% up as compared to previous since 2010. तो आप एक बार जो लॉयन का सेंसस है, एक टाइगर सेंसस होता है, दूसरा ये लायन का होता है। सो इनको एक बार आप लोग देख लेना। राजनदीप, आर यू देयर?
Yes, sir.
आपको मैंने कुछ कल बोला था करने के लिए, प्रिपेयर करने के लिए।
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, like it slipped off my mind.
ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं, आप कल
But
कर लेना।
Sir, I did it.
I'll do tomorrow this only.
ओके ओके राजनदीप।
Hello, sir.
हाँ जी।
So, Meghna River, ना राजदीप का
हाँ
टास्क।
हाँ, वो रिवर के बारे में।
So, Ganga River called in Bangladesh Padma, and the Bharak River, Yamuna River, those three are called as Meghna in Bangladesh.
गंगा कॉल्ड पद्मा इन बांग्लादेश,
And Bharak River and Yamuna River, three rivers cumulatively called Meghna in Bangladesh.
बराक, जमुना एंड थर्ड वन
Ganga.
which means Padma.
Yeah, Padma, which is also called as Padma in Bangladesh.
This is same what I was telling yesterday.
You said only Barak, Rajandeep. You left. That's
अच्छा, फिर what about ब्रह्मपुत्रा?
So Teesta plus Brahmaputra makes Jamuna.
तब बेसिक गड़बड़ हो जाएगा ना. ब्रह्मपुत्रा प्लस तीस्ता इज जमुना, जमुना प्लस पद्मा इज मेघना. एक बार
Not
और प्लीज
Jamuna,
कंफर्म.
sir, Yamuna. Parak, Yamuna, Padma.
यमुना बोलते हैं, जमुना बोलते हैं.
Yamuna.
जमुना है सर.
Jamuna.
Jamuna, Jamuna.
या इट्स जमुना.
So Meghna river.
प्लीज कंफर्म इट टुमारो. ठीक है, एक कुछ कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, लेकिन अच्छे से इसको कंफर्म करके प्लीज डू इट टुमारो.
Even in
क्योंकि
NCERT also it is mentioned it is Jamuna, and in bracket they have written please do not get confused it with the Yamuna of India. It's Jamuna.
या यमुना इज ट्रिब्यूटरी ऑफ गंगा.
Yeah, Yamuna is like they have specifically mentioned, like sometimes in India we call it Jamuna.
हाँ,
Just
जमुना.
they mentioned that it's Jamuna in Bangladesh.
यस.
So मैंने अभी एक लिंक भेजा है, देख लो.
आया ही नहीं है. आपने मुझे कहाँ भेजा है?
I'll let you sir.
चलो, एनीवे अभी आई डिड नॉट गेट दिस लिंक. So, okay, what kind of climate is suitable for lions? For Asiatic lions? Anyone?
So semi-arid,
Deciduous.
kind of deciduous, like
Arid, semi-arid.
semi-arid.
What about dry and deciduous? Actually, dry and deciduous climate provide the best habitat for Asiatic lion. And in this national park, we have the same kind of climate. So we have white-backed and long-billed vultures in this national park. Chausinga is there, Indian fox is there, hyena is there, and the jackal is there. Which is the largest Indian deer?
Spotted deer.
देखना एक बार आप लोग. Now we'll talk about.
सर बारहसिंगा.
पक्का?
आई सपोज उसको सांबर भी बोलते हैं, तो शायद वही है.
But it is its IUCN status is vulnerable, na?
सांबर का?
Yes, sir.
Samba is the largest Indian deer. एक बार कंफर्म कर लेना, ठीक है. आई हैव टेकन इट फ्रॉम गवर्नमेंट वेबसाइट itself, लेकिन
सांबरी
है ना? सांबरी है. Okay, now we'll talk about Marine National Park. So it is located in Gulf of Kutch, and इसके बाद इसमें there are 42 islands on the Jamnagar coast in the Marine National Park. Most of them surrounded by reefs. अच्छा, जो मैंग्रोव सिस्टम है वो मोस्टली कहाँ होता है? इसी एरिया में होता है ना, द मैंग्रोव सिस्टम.
यस सर.
Yeah, so major ecosystem we can find coral reef, mangroves, mud flats, creeks. अनिमेश, कल आपका काम है मड फ्लैट्स और क्रीक्स को एक्सप्लेन करना, ठीक है?
ओके सर.
So we can find seagrass and seaweeds, estuaries. Estuaries, lagoon, and delta. Who should I give this thing? Satish.
Yeah.
Satish, are you there?
Yeah.
So you have to explain these three things: estuaries, lagoon, and delta. All right?
Okay.
Okay. So Marine National Park is the first national marine park of India, And we can find Gangetic dolphin, giant crabs, rayfish, rarely found beluga whales, giant leatherback turtle, and colorful corals. All these things we can find jellyfish, seahorse. Seahorse का status बताना क्या है? What is the status of seahorse? Hmm?
Vulnerable.
Okay, tell me, seahorse and sea cow are the same or different?
Different, sir.
Different.
Different.
Acha. So what is the status of seahorse? What is the status of dolphin?
Endangered.
Sir, Gangetic endangered.
Gangetic dolphin is endangered. What about
I guess even humpback is also endangered. Even the Indus one is also endangered.
okay, Indus dolphin is and what about this normal dolphin?
So normal dolphin name is
Sir, there is no normal dolphin.
normal dolphin. Like I guess it's called bottleneck dolphin, which like we assume that what's dolphin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what a
that is
dolphin.
bottlenose dolphin.
Bottlenose.
Bottlenose dolphin.
Irrawaddy dolphin, that is also vulnerable.
What is the status of this bottlenose dolphin?
Sir, I guess least concern.
अच्छा, एक बार देख लेना इसको. कोराल्स क्या होते हैं, मुझे कोई बताएगा? Anyone who is going to tell me about corals?
So near threatened Oscar, IUCN.
Sir,
किसका?
bottlenose is critically endangered.
हाँ देखो, ये critically endangered है. इस थोड़ा आप लोग देख लेना, जितने भी इसमें कुछ कुछ नए नए लिखे हैं, ठीक है? जो भी है, हॉर्न फिश हो गया, एंड देन what else? Seahorse. So just check it. Now we'll talk about Bansda National Park. So it is also known as Bansda National Park, and it is a protected area. It represents the thick woodlands of the Dangs and the southern Gujarat, and it is Ambika River is just around this national park. And what else? Deciduous forest. And what else? Yeah, it has unique flora and fauna population also, and it is in Sahyadri range of Western Ghat. ये सब तो पता ही है ना. इंडियन पेंगोलिन जो है, दैट इज इंडेंजर्ड, राइट? चाइनीज इज क्रिटिकली इंडेंजर्ड, एंड ये सब हम लोगों ने ऑलमोस्ट किए हैं, ठीक है? तो एक बार आप लोग जस्ट गो थ्रू देम. सो नाउ वील टॉक अबाउट SLR. So tell me, what is the rate of SLR and CRR?
CRR 21, silver 18,
CRR कितना है?
21.
Sir,
4%. So SLR 18 है, CRR 4 है.
4 है और 3% है.
Sir, 4%.
3%, sir.
21 March on 21.
3
It
or
was
18 है, sir.
3%.
Sir,
It was
3.
It was 3% on 21st March 21. I'm telling you date also. 21st March 21. It was 3% and 18% SLR. So what is the fundamental difference between SLR and CRR? Abhi, are you there?
CRR.
Abhi Verma.
Yes, sir.
Abhi, can you hear me?
Hello.
हाँ Abhi.
Yes, sir.
My question is that what is the fundamental difference between CRR and SLR?
डिफरेंस तो बहुत सारे हैं फंडामेंटल। तो जैसे कि एक डिफरेंस ये हो गया कि सीआरआर फोर्टनाइटली बेसिस पे मेंटेन करना होता है और एसएलआर डेली बेसिस पे करना होता है। और जो सीआरआर होता है वो कैश फॉर्म में रहता है और एसएलआर जो होता है वो गोल्ड, गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटी, कैश इन फॉर्म्स में रह सकता है। और सर और बताऊं?
हाँ जी बताइए।
सर जो जो सीआरआर होता है वो आरबीआई एक्ट 1934 से गवर्न होता है और जो SLR होता है वो बैंकिंग रेगुलेशन एक्ट 1949 से गवर्न होता है। और जो सीआरआर होता है वो सभी कमर्शियल और कोऑपरेटिव बैंक को, चाहे शेड्यूल्ड और नॉन शेड्यूल्ड को, सीआरआर मेंटेन करना होता है। और अभी एनबीएफसी के ऐसा कोई आया नहीं है सर। एनबीएफसी किन्हीं एनबीएफसी को सिर्फ एसएलआर मेंटेन करना होता है।
अच्छा ये बताओ कि जो सीआरआर है वो कैन द बैंक कीप इट इन इट्स वॉल्ट आल्सो?
नो सर, आरबीआई सर।
पक्का आरबीआई?
यस सर।
कि वॉल्ट में भी रख सकता है अपने?
नहीं सर, आरबीआई के पास रहेगा।
इसको एक बार आप देखना क्योंकि दो न्यूज़पेपर हैं, बिजनेस स्टैंडर्ड एंड फाइनेंशियल एक्सप्रेस, दोनों में लिखा है कि इट कैन बी इन देयर वॉल्ट आल्सो।
सर बट अगर वॉल्ट के पास रहेगा तो फिर बैंक डिफॉल्ट करेगा ना उसको बार बार, जो कि
नहीं, नो बैंक, इट इज स्ट्रिक्टली प्रोहिबिटेड दैट बैंक कैन नॉट टच सीआरआर इवन इट इज इन वॉल्ट।
सर अभी जो कि हम फिगर देख रहे हैं वो, सर पता नहीं सर, वॉल्ट का तो मैं तो ऐप से पढ़ा था ये तो।
बैंक मस्ट कीप दिस मच डिपॉजिट विद आरबीआई, ये लिखा है
सर। एक्ट में तो आरबीआई लिखा था और सर बाकी मेरे को ये वाला पता नहीं सर, मैं चेक कर
इन दो जो है ना, बिजनेस स्टैंडर्ड एंड फाइनेंशियल एक्सप्रेस, तो दोनों ही अच्छे स्टैंडर्ड न्यूज़पेपर्स हैं। इन्होंने लिख रखा है कि it can be kept in their vault also. Okay, so we'll talk about SLR. SLR is cash plus gold plus what else? Security.
Securities.
So the bank has to keep these three things: a certain percentage of net time demand, NTDL, net time demand liability. What is this?
So basically, this is a system that bank has to keep with the 14 days. So
what is this NTDL, net time and demand liabilities?
That's your
deposit. This is the difference between the deposit and loans given by the bank.
No, it is basically simply in simple terms we can say deposit. When we are when we are talking about net time and demand liabilities, so bank की जो the deposit which bank is having, that is the liability of bank, isn't it? Say for example, let me make you understand this thing. This is Punjab National Bank, okay, and you go to Punjab National Bank and you give 1,000 rupees bank. आप कहते हो कि just keep this money in my saving account, or this is Mr. X who is depositing 1,000 rupees in bank in his saving account, and this is Mr. Bai who is depositing 10,000 rupees in his FD. All of you know what is FD? Fixed deposit, right?
Yes sir.
तो आपने बैंक को 1,000 रुपए दिए हैं और बैंक उस पर आपको 3%, 2.5%, whatever the interest bank is giving you in your saving account, and in FDs bank is giving you 4.5% or maybe 5%. So this is डिमांड डिपॉजिट. जो सेविंग अकाउंट में पैसा है ये आपका डिमांड डिपॉजिट है. whenever you want you can take this money from the bank, और बैंक को ये पैसा देना पड़ेगा, therefore this is the liability of bank. The deposits are the liabilities of the bank. समझ में आया ये चीज आपको? लाइबिलिटी समझ में आता है ना क्या होता है? लाइबिलिटी मीन्स आपको किसी को कुछ देना है. Are you understanding what is liability?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Liability means you owe someone something. That is your liability. And when we are talking about this fixed deposit, it means कि ये अगर fixed deposit 2 years के लिए है तो he can get back this money in 2 years only. I'm talking in general. I'm not saying कि बीच में ले लेगा उस पे charges लग जाएंगे and all. So I'm not talking about. I'm talking in general sense. So this is the time deposit. All right. So this time deposit and this demand deposit are the bank's liability. So it is almost the same thing. Net time and demand liabilities NTDL. So इसका एक certain percentage है. Bank will have to keep अपने बैंक will have to keep with itself, and that will be in the form of cash, gold and security. Now you can ask me one question कि sir you are talking about deposit, so the deposit comes in the form of cash, right? Deposit will come in the form of cash, then how will bank have securities? How can bank keep security, because it's only getting cash? From where securities are coming?
RBI, sir.
Sir, issued by government.
Yeah. So what bank does? Bank has lot of functions. So banks lends to corporate, banks lends to individual, and bank also invest the money in government securities. तो GSEC जो government securities हो गया, so bank can also buy these securities. Bank can buy bonds. Bank can buy shares and all these things. All right. So जैसे for example अभी आपने you must have heard about the reconstruction of Yes Bank, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what happened in this case that the Yes Bank was on the verge of default, and some bank came up, and they were our SBI was leading them. So SBI invested 49%. SBI has had the equity of 49% at that point of time, at the reconstruction of Yes Bank. So इसका मतलब ये है कि SBI के पास 49% शेयर थे एस बैंक के. Did you understand this thing? So shares are also securities, right? It is clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
तो बेसिकली यही है कि गोल्ड हो गया एंड ऑल्सो bank will have to keep 18% of net time and demand liabilities in the form of cash, gold plus securities. So this is SLR. Now what is the effect of SLR? If SLR goes up, then what would be the effect on interest rate? And Animes, आप बताइए.
Sir, interest rate will go up.
आप कह रहे हैं इंटरेस्ट रेट विल गो अप.
Decrease
SLR
होगा.
इंटरेस्ट रेट. अब इफ यू आर सेइंग जो डिक्रीज होगा वो मुझे पता है डिक्रीज कैसे होगा, जो कह रहा है इंक्रीज होगा वो मुझे पता है इंक्रीज कैसे होगा. प्लीज टेल मी.
Sir, it's simply that SLR means that bank has to keep more money with itself that it cannot loan. So simply, if there is less money in the market to be loaned, so interest rate will obviously go up because there will be more demand for loan and there will be less availability of loan.
यस एग्जैक्टली. आप जो बोल रहे थे डिक्रीज होगा वो बता दो क्यों डिक्रीज
डिक्रीज
होगा.
तो सर मार्केट में मनी सप्लाई कम हो जाएगी.
मनी सप्लाई कम करने के लिए तो इंक्रीज किया जा रहा है इसको.
हाँ तो सर SLR कम होने से
समझ रहे हो आप?
सर
नहीं, SLR अगर इंक्रीज किया जाएगा तो उससे मनी सप्लाई कम होगी मार्केट में, उसी के लिए तो ये किया जा रहा है, तभी तो इंटरेस्ट रेट हाई जाएंगी। कल मैंने आपको इस एग्जांपल से समझाया भी था। डिड यू
तो
अंडरस्टैंड
सर
दैट एग्जांपल?
उससे सर मार्केट में इन्फ्लेशन भी कम हो जाएगी, फिर मनी सप्लाई कम जाएगी तो इंटरेस्ट रेट डाउन
ऑब्वियसली कि
डाउन हो जाएगा।
दिस इज द टूल विच इज यूज्ड बाय द RBI आल्सो टू कंट्रोल द इन्फ्लेशन, बट CRR ज्यादा यूज करते हैं, SLR कम यूज करते हैं। This is clear, right? Now we can go through the document also. Liquid cash, gold. Okay, which one is more liquid, CRR or SLR?
CRR.
CRR.
Yes, and why? The reason?
CRR is proper cash, whereas SLR includes government securities, so that will be less liquid.
हाँ, तो कैश की सबसे ज्यादा लिक्विडिटी होती है, राइट?
Yes, sir.
Cash market.
And yeah, can you please tell me what is the meaning of liquidity? Who should I ask? Just Mary. Just can you please tell me what is the meaning of liquidity? Rajandeep?
Sir, basically liquidity is a term used for कि मनी का कितना ज्यादा लाइक कितना जल्दी मार्केट में यूज हो सके, लाइक कितनी जल्दी आई वुड से कितनी जल्दी यूज हो सके, लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल गोल्ड का, लाइक लेट्स से आई वांट टू बाय अ पिज्जा, लाइक इट्स वेरी हार्ड कि गोल्ड से मैं पिज्जा बाय कर लूं, बट इफ आई हैव अ कैश तो इट्स वेरी इजी.
So we can say acceptability. How fast something is
Yeah, how
acceptable, right?
fast? Yes, sir.
So cash is the fastest. आप कैश लेके जाओ किसी को, and it depends कि what kind of currency you are using. If you are using dollar in India, it won't be accepted,
Yeah, it
right?
won't be yeah, it won't be
So,
accepted.
but अगर आप इंडियन रुपी लेके जा रहे हो तो कोई भी लेगा पैसा. Anyone can take money. So how fast one instrument can be accepted? It defines. We can say this is the liquidity basically. समझ में आ गया ना आपको? Because if you are taking gold somewhere, so there, say for example, you want to buy pizza, okay, and if you are saying, okay, I have 1 gram of gold and give me a pizza for 20 days, so he'll say, give me hard currency, give me cash, I won't take gold. So this person is not acceptable and not accepting gold. अच्छा, आप मुझे बताइए, if somebody is not accepting gold, then would it be offense or not?
No, sir.
No offense.
No, sir.
No,
It's not
why?
offense.
It's not an
Because it's
offense.
not a legal tender.
Yeah, and if someone is not, accepting 20 rupees ka note,
Then it's not
then
offense. It's an
It is
offense.
offense, sir.
yes. So, and अगर आप कहोगे कि मेरे भाई जो है, I have HDFC का 2000 शेयर इन माय अकाउंट, सो आप एक शेयर ले लो एंड मुझे मूवी देखने दो, ही वोंट अलाउ यू. और फॉर दैट मैटर आप जो PVR है, तो यू कैन से कि आई एम अ शेयर होल्डर इन PVR, so please deduct 1 share and let me buy movie. So they will not allow. They'll say, okay, first sell it into the market, bring cash, and then we'll take it. So cash is the most liquid one, and thereafter gold, and then your this thing also, securities also. So it depends what kind of security it is. बॉन्ड होगा तो थोड़ा सा इट विल टेक टाइम, अगर शेयर है तो यस.
Sir,
हाँ
and
पलक.
sir, you asked two questions regarding is it an offense if someone is not accepting gold. So it comes under which law or rule?
It's not offense only. If someone is not accepting gold, it is no
Okay,
offense.
I thought there is some article or something that.
No, it's not article. I just asked question. आपको ये चीज समझ में आ गई ना? लिक्विडिटी क्या होती है?
Yes, sir.
So before offering credit to customer, bank has to keep SLR. What is the meaning of offering credit?
सर
Giving money.
मिनिमम अमाउंट जो उनके पास बचती है।
नहीं यार,
lending.
हाँ
Sir,
बेसिकली
lending loan.
या बेसिकली काइंड ऑफ लैंडिंग कि अगर बैंक के पास अभी इफ बैंक हैज 100 रुपीज, सो बैंक विल हैव टू कीप 18 रुपीज SLR. उसके बाद में बैंक के पास बच रहा है 82 रुपीज, द बैंक इज हैविंग 82 रुपीज, देन बैंक कैन ऑफर क्रेडिट. Offering credit means giving loan, lending someone. All right?
सर
ऐसे नहीं लोग,
इसमें CRR भी कट जाएगा।
अभी तो हम उसकी बात ही नहीं कर रहे हैं ना, हम CRR पे आई नहीं है हम तो. आई एम जस्ट गिविंग यू एग्जांपल. आई डोंट नो व्हाट इज CRR. आई एम जस्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट SLR राइट नाउ. सो अभी we ask most of the time कि give me some credit, can you give me 500 rupees credit and all these things. So in other way you are asking, can you please lend me 500 rupees. So it's a offering credit, and these are not reserved with the Reserve Bank of India, but with bank maintain themselves. So SLR will be with bank, and SLR is fixed by the RBI. CRR and SLR have been the traditional tool of the central bank's monetary policy to control credit growth, flow of liquidity and inflation. अच्छा, आप मुझे बताइए SLR को ग्रोथ से कनेक्ट करिए. Who is going to connect SLR with growth?
Sir, can I?
पलक, हाँ जी पलक, बिल्कुल.
Sir, if SLR is more, then bank will give loan to people with more interest. So less people will take loan. And if loan is less, then cash in market or liquidity will be less. So demand will be less. And if demand is less, then growth will also be less because the people will not buy cars or anything like. So demand will be less, so growth will be less.
Yes, exactly. And how it will affect inflation?
So if demand is less, then price will be less and inflation will also be less. Inflation means महंगाई, so it will also be less.
Exactly. Everybody understood this thing, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So now we know that it is prescribed by the Section 24 2A of Banking Regulation Act 1949. And what about CRR? Which act defines CRR?
RBI Act 1934.
तो ये बैंकिंग रेगुलेशन एक्ट 1949 के अंदर आता है SLR. सो अभी इम्पोर्टेंस तो ज़्यादा पढ़ना नहीं है, ठीक है. इम्पोर्टेंस हम लोगों ने डिस्कस कर लिए हैं कि द गवर्नमेंट यूजेस द SLR टू रेगुलेट इन्फ्लेशन एंड लिक्विडिटी. increasing the SLR will control inflation in the market. This is what we have discussed. While decreasing it will cause growth in the economy. You have understood that how decreasing SLR will increase the growth in the economy. Did you understand this thing or do I need to explain? अगर किसी को नहीं आया है आप पूछो, I'll explain. चलो, let me explain only.
सर कंफ्यूजन है.
क्या कंफ्यूजन बताओ.
सर बेसिकली NDTL से रिलेटेड है. सर बेसिकली NDTL इज difference between the time and liability of the bank, that is a deposit of the customers minus the deposit of that bank to another bank, right?
आप ज्यादा मत समझो. नेट टाइम एंड डिमांड लायबिलिटी मतलब एक तरीके से डिपॉजिट हो गया, बस. इससे ज्यादा उसमें कुछ समझने का है नहीं, बहुत बेसिक है.
सर मैंने भी ये स्किप ही कर दिया जब मैं पढ़ रहा था.
हाँ, कुछ नहीं है, बस डिपॉजिट जो मैंने आपको बताया उसी तरीके से वही है. अगर क्योंकि बुक्स में बहुत कॉम्प्लिकेटेड लैंग्वेज में लिखा है, आपको समझ में भी नहीं आएगा, ठीक है. उसमें से इसको माइनस कर दिया, उसमें से इसको माइनस कर दिया, कुछ नहीं है. वो एक तरीके से डिपॉजिट है, आप समझ लो बस.
ओके सर.
ठीक है, वो नेट नेट वाला फॉर्मूला उन्होंने सिर्फ नेट यूज करके बाकी जो डिमांड एंड टाइम लाइबिलिटीज है इसको नेट करके फिर इसको इसमें से माइनस किया, इसको इसमें से कुछ नहीं है, वो समझ लो आप डिपॉजिट है बैंक के पास।
बेसिक लायबिलिटी है ना बैंक की बस ये।
हाँ, बैंक की बस लाइबिलिटीज है, आप ये समझ लो।
ठीक है सर।
Okay, so I was talking about how SLR will affect growth. So say for example, right now SLR is 18. Say let's assume that bank has 100 rupees to give. Bank has 100 rupees deposit. Now it will exclude 18 rupees. So bank has 82 rupees. Now what happens that bank lends 70 rupees in the market. And what happens that in 1 rupees you get 1000 pen, in 5 rupees you get a car, okay, and in 10 rupees you get chopper, okay. So this is how our economy is going on. So what happened, this person, one person takes 20 rupees loan, so he thinks now I should have a chopper, so he buys a chopper. He thinks, okay, I should have a car also, so he buys a car. And he thinks I should have a bike also, so for 2 rupees he buys a bike, okay. And then he thinks, okay, I should have a good house also, so in 3 rupees he buys a house. So four things: 10, 15, 17, 20 rupees. He had 20 rupees. He had spent all 20 rupees in buying chopper, car, motorbike, and house, because he thought he has got the loan at very cheap price. इसके बाद एक पर्सन और है, उसकी भी यही ख्वाब है, सेम ख्वाब इसका पड़ोसी, the neighbor of this person. So he thinks, okay, अरे ये खरीद रहा है, now I should also buy, I should have also chopper, I should have a car, very good car. So he does the same thing. So मार्केट में ये जो कार चॉपर बना रहा था, इसके पास लगातार ऑर्डर आ रहे हैं. So the person who was making chopper, he was getting lot of orders. The person who was making bikes, he was also getting a lot of orders, and they are making, so they have lot of demands. All right. So इससे क्या होगा, ग्रोथ होगी. ग्रोथ, इसकी ग्रोथ हुई ना, इसके पास इतने संसाधन हो गए, he has house and all, so the economy is growing, everyone is growing. Did you understand this thing?
Yes, sir.
अब क्या हुआ कि 18% से 20% कर दिया, और we can say 30%. So now bank has only 70 rupees to lend. तो बैंक क्या कहेगा, बैंक कहेगा कि now we have 70 rupees to lend, and we have to incur a lot of expenses also. So now earlier the interest rate was 5%. Now I'm going to change interest rate, and it is going to be 5 to 10%. So अभी 10% हो गया. So now earlier he was thinking to buy a car or maybe buy chopper. So now he can't buy a chopper. He thinks, if I am buying chopper, because I have taken loan of 20 rupees, so now he's saying I can't take 20 rupees loan, because then I'll have to pay. So let's take 10 rupees loan on 10%, and let's buy a car only. So अभी जो chopper बन रहे थे, the demand of chopper has gone down, right? Because nobody is demanding, इतना पैसा महंगा हो गया है कि people do not have money to buy chopper. तो chopper वाले का बिजनेस तो खत्म हो गया. बिजनेस खत्म हो गया, तो इसके यहाँ जो लोग काम कर रहे होंगे, उसने कहा भाई अब तो निकलो आप लोग, नाउ यू गो आउट, आई डोंट हैव मनी टू पे यू आल्सो, नोबडी इज कमिंग एंड बाइंग चॉपर्स, राइट? सो इससे क्या होगा, अब इन लोगों के घर में जब होगा क्या कि ये लोग जब नौकरी खो देंगे, तो दे विल नॉट हैव आल्सो मनी, एंड इफ दे आर नॉट हैविंग मनी, देन दे कांट आल्सो बाई जो इनका डेली का काम करने का जो सब कुछ है, तो दे कांट बाई. तो डिमांड घट जाएगी, डिमांड घटेगी तो ग्रोथ, लोग प्रोडक्शन ही नहीं करेंगे, so the production will go down, and that's how growth will come down. समझ में आ गया आपको?
Yes, sir.
All right. So that's all we have discussed about SLR, and same thing is about CRR. It's just that the fundamental difference is that this is cash. All right, this is cash. Fundamental difference is that SLR में हो गया आपका liquidity, cash. बाकी जैसे the Bay SLR affects, similarly CRR also affects. All right. तो should we discuss it or not?
No, sir.
क्योंकि सेम ही फंक्शन है, ऑलमोस्ट सेम है. आई हैव रिटन एवरीथिंग. इफ यू आर अनेबल टू अंडरस्टैंड, get back to me tomorrow, we'll discuss. I have given you differences also, so everything I have given you. Repo rate we have discussed yesterday, right?
Yes, sir.
Then reverse repo rate also we have discussed tomorrow, yesterday. इसमें मैंने जितना जो है ये सब चीजें, now we'll talk about marginal standing facility. This thing we need to talk about because yesterday we discussed reverse repo rate and repo rate. So now today we'll discuss about marginal standing facility. कौन बताएगा मुझे इसके बारे में? Who's going to tell me about MSF?
Sir, can I?
Yes, Palak.
Sir, when RBI gives loan to banks for 1 day, so that interest is called MSF. For 1
हाँ
day.
हाँ
Repo
ठीक
rate,
है.
for repo rate we bank like for 2 to 14 days, then repo rate, and when for 1 day then MSF.
So it's to avail overnight fund. The bank use this MSF facility, marginal standing facility. So if I say that it is the RBI's liquidity adjustment under the RBI's liquidity adjustment facility, then this statement is correct or incorrect?
Sir, it is
Correct,
over
sir.
and
Sir,
liquidity adjustment facility.
Yes, Prerna, go ahead.
Sir, when the banks are not able to fulfill their obligations through the liquidity adjustment facility, then the marginal standing facility is the over and above facility, basically at penal interest rates. Interest rates
Yes,
higher than that of repo rate.
repo rate. Yes. So it's a 1% higher than repo rate, right?
Yes, sir.
100, or we can say 100 basis point. कोई और बता दो इसको जल्दी से, थोड़ा बहुत किसी को और कुछ ऐड करना हो.
Sir, MSF is allocated to only scheduled commercial banks, not to the regional rural banks. That is RBI.
Yeah,
RRB.
scheduled commercial bank. MSF is only for scheduled commercial banks. Anyone else?
So
Sir,
bank can pledge their
they have yes, he's saying correct. A bank has to pledge their government
SLR
security
quota
from their
securities.
SL quota.
Yes. ये हो गया. Anything else?
सर
हाँ भी.
सर वो क्या बोलते हैं, लिक्विडिटी एडजस्टमेंट फैसिलिटी जब से गवर्नमेंट ने इंट्रोड्यूस करी है तब से बैंक रेट जो है वो रिडंडेंट हो गया, क्योंकि वो उसका भी मोटिव वही था. तो अब जो
हाँ.
बैंक रेट आता है वो एमएसएफ रेट, वो डिटरमाइन एमएसएफ रेट करता है. मतलब अगर बैंक रेट बताया गवर्नमेंट ने, जो बैंक रेट बताया आरबीआई ने, वो एमएसएफ रेट हो जाएगा.
And sir,
And
it constitutes 0.75% of NDTL.
Okay. And generally loans rates which are available for the public tend to get cheaper when MSF rate decrease. So loan rate or interest rate will go down if MSF is going down and vice versa. ठीक है, बाकी तो हो गया आज के लिए, क्योंकि अब बाकी चीज डिस्कस नहीं कर सकते क्योंकि टाइम हो गया है बहुत. इट्स ऑलमोस्ट 11. किसी को कुछ पूछना है? इफ एनीवन हैज एनीथिंग देन प्लीज गो
Sir,
अहेड.